All right, I'm gonna give people literally 1 minute while I organize my files and take materials to my polypad, okay? All right, let's see what's going on here. So guys, welcome back. We are being recorded. What we're going to do, we're going to kind of do the same thing. Now, if you think I'm doing it in my head and you want me to show the steps and all those things, you have to just tell me. All right. So it's the same question, right? So I'm going to hang on to the same table. Okay. And matter if I box it and all that, right? All right, so this time, I don't need this. All right, this time, I'm gonna work, and if you want me to work on something else, I tend to pick the ones from the bottom because they tend to be more difficult. Here's the problem. X equal to x cubed minus what? Let's do the -1 first. Okay, I'm starting with -3. I'm going to show you a couple. Okay, so y, I'm not going to rewrite the same equation. I guess I can. Looks a little nicer. Instead of I'm doing -3, when x is -3, I'm going to write it like this. -3 to the power 3. Remember, guys, when the power is negative, there is negative sign. And 3 to the power 3 is 27. -28. Unfortunately, my table isn't that good because it goes way up, but we're going to make do. -28. Okay. If you replace x with -2, you're going to get -8. -8 minus 1 is -9. When x is, I can show the next one. When x is -1, this is -1, you're going to get -2. 0 is 0. When x is 1, 1 to the power 3 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 to the power, and when x is 2, replace, let's do 1 with positive, okay? When x is 2, 2 to the power 3 is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. Actually, this one I messed up. I know I did. I'll do this one. I was probably going too quick. Let's try -2. -2. Oh, no, that was fine. Take it back. Let me double check. How can it be? -2. Let me double check. Okay, let me try the next one. When x is 3, 27, 28. Okay, there's something going on. I'm gonna give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna check these two guys. Okay,
you have forgot the negative on the 8 for -2. That's why you got 7 for -2.
okay. Well, for
Or you did
-2,
that.
let me double check. For -2, isn't it gonna be 2 to the power 3 is 8, -8, and -8 and -1 is -9. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
And what about 2? That sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you'll have +8 for the x for positive the x
Yeah,
positive
that,
x.
that sounds right. Yeah,
Like,
there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, I hear you. Amari, is that Amari? Who's
Amara.
talking? Amara, I'm sorry. Amara, is that Amara talking?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I do agree with what you're saying. I understand you. I don't think I messed up.
I was asking like a question.
Sure, go for it.
That was my question. Like,
So I answered your question. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Awesome. So we have it. I'm sorry. I was trying to confuse you, not intentionally, of course. Okay, now let me double check before 327 minus 27 minus 1 is 28, and this is 27 minus, actually, this can be adjusted. This can be adjusted when it's 3. You know, I'm leaving things behind, and that's not a good suggestion. Okay, so let's do the 3 one. 3 cubed minus 1. 3 cubed is 27. Minus 1 is 26. This is correct. Okay, I'm going to check a couple more. Okay, what about this one? 1 is minus 2. That's correct. 1 is 1. I think this one will be minus 1. And this one, I'll show you this one. Let's try to do it nicely. This one will be 1 to the power 3, not negative 1, 1 minus 1, which is 1 to the power 3 is 1 minus 1, which is 0. Now I think we're good. They were looking a little off. I'm pretty confident they're correct now, guys. Take a look. Tell me what you think. I think these are correct. So let me start with the 0, negative 1, okay? I'm going to go with 0, negative 1. This one is clearly here. Let me take this. This is cleaner. It looks nicer. 0, negative 1 is here, right here. 1, 0 is right here. Okay, 2, 7, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is right here. And 326 is way up there, okay? Excuse me, I'm just going to draw it here. And negative 2, negative 9, negative 2 is negative 9. It's somewhere around here. And negative 3, negative 28 is way down there. Don't worry, I'll do it on decimals, okay? So it's going to look somewhat like this, guys. If you were to draw a line, it's going to look like this. And it's not going to look very pretty. Okay, I'm going to show you on decimals. I know it looks ugly, but I think the points are right. So let's do it on decimals. X cubed minus 1. Okay. Again, come here. I'm going to erase the stars. X cubed. Just type in x caret 3 minus 1. We got pretty close to this. Not bad. I know my graph doesn't look very pretty, but it has the basic same structure. Okay, so here it is. And just to let you know, it doesn't matter what you're using. Okay, you can always use your graphing calculator, but trust me, some of you will find this more convenient. If you have access to the internet, you just type in Desmos, D-E-S-M-O-S, and you have it. And it's nice. You can keep a copy, a digital copy right away by capturing the screen. So it's not bad. And I think you have to sign up to save it as a picture, which I haven't. Let me see if I can do it. Well, I'm not going to type in all those things here right now, but I have an account with them and it's totally free. Let's pause here a little bit to see if you have any questions. Any numbers aren't matching for you guys. I know my graph, this one, the table that I have here, the XY plane, the Cartesian plane, it's a little small, but if I had 26 more, and if I put more dots there, you won't be able to see anything. It'll be so small. So all right, guys, let's see what else is coming up. Okay, this one, let's see what this one is easy. Let's go over it orally. I won't even go to the next. I won't use Polypad. Read this 41 through 46. Use the graph to determine x-intercept, y-intercept for each graph. Tick mark along the x-axis. Who's going to tell me? I'm going to ask you guys to tell me. Who's going to tell me this blue line is your graph, And you can see it, it's number 41. That's all they're asking. How many x-intercepts, how many y-intercepts? If there aren't any, you can say 0 on the exam too. I can give you a graph and ask you. He will say 0 x-intercepts, 1 y-intercept, 2 y-intercepts, 1 x-intercept. Who's going to tell me what the answer to this is? How many x and y-intercepts? Anyone?
1 for each. 1 X and 1 Y.
Would that work, guys? Yes, that's correct. Thank you. I think it's Jack. Thank
Yep.
you. Awesome. Let's move on. All right. This one, I'm going to go over it. 1y, 1x. All right. This one, clever. Okay. 1x, 2x, 2x intercepts, and 1 y intercept. Let's put the y intercept with check mark. 1 y intercept, maybe a couple of check marks right here, and 2 x intercepts. That takes care of P1, guys. Sorry, 1.1. That takes care of 1.1. And 1.2 is not that difficult. I'm going to give you a little bit of a couple of minutes really to take a look at what we have done in P1 and ask questions. Any questions about, I can give you these graphs. I can ask you to graph it. I probably won't give you these. You should know how to do it. And I'm listening. I think somebody was about to talk. Okay. So guys, we are going to start 2.2. There is not a lot of lecturing to go with it, with that section. It's just, we're going to solve some equations. Some of you asked me, are we supposed to solve it when we were doing some sections of P1, some sections of P, I don't know which section. We are going to solve equations today. Let me see where things are. All right. So let me grab P2 notes. That's what we're doing. And I'm going to just jump into the problems and do some of them. This is called solving for X. You're going to solve equations, and some of the equations will be complicated. I assigned you 1 through 50 and then 61 through 68. So of course, as usual, I'm going to do some of the harder ones. For instance, let's start with number 16. Hard enough. Okay. Let's start with number 16. So everything you've learned in the previous chapter will come in handy. So I'll do it on Mathegon Polypad. You will be able to see my work. Number 16. Awesome, guys. Here we are. Okay, so here you see there is only one variable, y, and you're gonna solve for it. Let's read the text. Let's see what they're trying to say, what they're asking us to do. It's very important. Solve and check each linear equation. The word linear means line. So if you were to graph it, it will be a straight line. Fine. You want to be familiar with the term, but there's not much we're going to do. We're going to solve for y. That's all we're going to do. And we're going to do it very slowly. It looks very ugly. Remember, guys, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parenthesis for please, excuse, exponents. My is multiplication, dear is division, and Sally, addition and subtraction. Multiplication and division comes first. Whichever is first, you do that. Then addition, subtraction, okay? And you do parenthesis, power, and all those things. So I'm going to work on this parenthesis 4 times y. I'm going to work on this. So how do I write it? I'm going to show you all the steps. 45 minus 4 minus 2y. Here, there's a minus sign. I have to change this sign to, this sign will be minus, and there will be a minus here. Once I do that, 2y, it becomes minus 4y minus 28. Now, I'm going to work on this, brackets. Now, let's go ahead. I know it's a little messy, guys, okay? So let's go ahead and just work on the left. Well, yeah, you can do that. Let's work on the left-hand side first. Okay, simplify it totally. All right, so I'm just going to work on the left-hand side. LHS stands for left-hand side. Left-hand side. Okay, this is equal to 45 minus, okay, 4 minus 28 is going to be minus 24. And 2y and 4y, that's negative 2y, negative 4y is negative 6y. Now you did that. Now you have to get rid of this minus sign and get rid of this parenthesis and this minus. Let me change the color. This minus will change this sign to plus, and this minus will change this sign to plus. Okay, that's where we are at. I'm gonna get rid of it. It's a little bit of a distraction. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna write here 45 plus 24 plus 6y. And I'm almost done with this side. 45 plus 24 is 69 plus 6y. And I'm done with that side. There's not much more I can do. Okay, I'm going to start with the right-hand side, this long, ugly side. Right-hand side. Okay, I'm going to distribute 4 over, negative 4 over. And I'm going to work on this guy now, okay? Okay, negative 3 times y is negative 3y. Negative 6 minus 4y plus 10. I'm going to double check, okay? If I mess up, it's going to be not fun. It's not going to be pretty. Let me double check. And if you catch any of my mistakes, okay, so you know you wrote that, just tell me. I think I got it right. Now I'm going to work on this guy. Okay, that's what I'm working on. So I'm going to say 4 minus 12y. All right, this guy, 4 and minus 6 and 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. 14 minus 6 is 8. Negative 3y, negative 4y is negative 7y. That looks much better to me. I'm still working on this. This minus sign, let's change the color. This minus sign, we'll change this to plus, and we'll change this to plus. That's our goal, to write it properly. I'm going to erase it. Looks too distracting. 4 minus 12y minus 8 plus 7y. What does that turn out to be? That turns out to be negative 4. 4 minus 8 is negative 4, and negative 12 and negative 5y. Almost done. Almost done. I am gonna,
Sir,
but that's okay. Go ahead.
that's the negative 4 for the 4 minus
Give
12y.
me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Jack. Go ahead. Now tell me.
That was a negative 4. You wrote negative 4 there at the top, and then you just proceed to write positive 4 for the 4 minus 12y.
Okay, first tell me which line I'm on. I'm here.
R S
This
H.
one?
Okay, so
Oh,
Yes, all
yes,
right.
yes.
So you wrote negative 4,
You are right. You're absolutely right. And
so
I,
that would make that negative 12.
yeah, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Not fun to fix it, but do appreciate that. Is that looking a little better to you, Jack and everyone?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Absolutely. That's correct. All right, and thank you. So guys, I'm gonna go scroll down a little bit. Okay, I simplified the left-hand side. I simplified the right-hand side. I'm not done. I wasn't asked to simplify. I was asked to find the value of y, and my main problem will be worked out here. If you want, I can go to the next page, but I'm going to see if I can squeeze it in. 69 from the top part plus 6y equals to negative 12 minus 5y. And now I call it moving things around. Okay, people use different terms. We are supposed to isolate y. We want all the y's to be on the same side. Doesn't matter where you move it. If something goes from left to right, its sign will change. Something goes from right to left, its sign will change. So I'm going to move all the y's on the same side. So here I get 6y plus 5y. On the other side, I already have negative 12. When I bring this 69, it's plus on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, it should be negative 69. Negative 69, negative 12 is 81. Now, I'm going to check my answer very nicely. And if I messed up, and you have to be a little patient, I have to go back and look at my work. Everything is here. So let me double check. Negative is negative, and you're adding. And 69 is 81. And here I get 11. 11y is negative 81 over 11. I'm going to do a little rough check. I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to use my calculator. 81 divided by 11. 81 minus, divided by 11 is 7.36. So 45, I'm using my calculator. Be a little patient, okay? 45 minus 4 minus 2 times 81 divided by 11 minus 4. Well, let me share with you. Now, again, these problems can be very messy. Let me do it on a graphing calculator, okay? We'll see how that goes. I'm going to show you how to enter. You guys know how to enter it. So let's do it on the graphing calculator, and you can see a little better. Yeah, we have to be very, very patient. Okay, so guys, what I'm trying to do is instead of, let me go back here. We got y equal to negative 81 over 11. We're going to keep it at that. We're not going to use decimal, okay? So let's see how we do it. So we're going to go here. So this is my home screen, second quit. By the way, the last key I put is mode. Now this is not that important. This is probably something you guys know. Now I'm going to carefully enter 45 minus 4 minus 2 times. Okay, you have to enter negative very carefully. Negative 81 over 11. Okay, and I'm going to check a couple of times, and it does take a little bit of time. Negative 2. Instead of y, I'm writing negative 81 over 11. That's the value I got. plus 7. You get an error message. That means you didn't enter things right. Let's see what I did. Yeah, this thing can be so messy. 45 minus 4. 45 minus. Let me double check. Minus 4 minus 2. There is a shortcut I'm going to use. Negative 81 over 11. Okay, I'm going to hit enter. I see what they're trying to say. I have to use second bracket. Some calculators are funny about that. Well, do you guys have a calculator? I'm going to try it and you can just try it on your own. I think they want me to enter second bracket here, right here. And I will. That's going to make it a little more challenging, but we'll try. Okay, you have to enter the second bracket, okay? How do you do the second bracket? Go to second, this. And you can do 45 minus, oh boy. I didn't realize this will take that long. But let me try it. You can see number 16, okay? So let me try it this way. 4 minus 2 times negative 81 over 11 minus 4 times negative 81 over 11 plus 7. All right, so let me double check. 4 minus 2 times minus 4. That sounds about right. And let's see. Why is it doing that? Well, guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna just have to do it by hand. This either, let me see, quit, go to, let me go where it's saying. Oh, I see. This has to be negative. Okay. That's where the error message. I'm glad. So guys, there's a difference between minus and negative, and you guys know that. Now let's try it. Okay. Okay, 20 point this. All right. Then I'm going to subtract that guy from 45. 45 minus, you can write 20 point all that, and you can just say second answer. And I'm going to hit enter. I got 24.8181. Okay, now I have to be very meticulous and do this one. So be a little patient with me, okay? I'm doing the second line and they should match. I hope they will. And I'm going to do this part first, -4. So I'm using my keyboard and I can't show you the question and everything at the same time. So I'm going to be still very careful. Negative, and be a little patient, guys, okay? If you want to calculate it on your own, that's totally fine. 1 minus 3 times 81 divided by 11. I did a little bit of work here, guys, just to avoid making another mistake. So that's the first part, okay? I'm going to just hit enter. This is -4 times 1 plus 3y. 3y is negative 81 over 11. And I have everything. I think it's correct. So that's just the first component. Enter. That turns out to be 84. Fine. Now I have to do the, and if it kicks us out, guys, don't worry, I'm going to be back, but I'm going to finish this. This second component in square bracket underlined by this red line, that's what I'm trying to enter. Again, I'll try to be very careful. Minus 3 times negative 81 divided by 11 plus 2. 4 minus 3 times that, okay. Minus 2 parenthesis 2 negative 2 times 81 divided by 11 minus 5. Okay, negative 281 divided by 11 minus 5. That sounds right. Minus 2. And what's going on here? Let's double check before I hit enter. 4 minus 3. Okay, so guys, what I entered here is fine. Let's just take that. Well, so I wrote 4. I am just doing the red bracket, okay, inside the bracket. I didn't take advantage of this minus, and I'm going to subtract 84 from 84.366. I'm going to subtract whatever I get. Let me double check for one more time. Okay, this has to be a plus negative 81. 3 times 81 plus 2 has to be a plus. Okay, then minus 2 times negative 81 over 11. I hope I didn't mess up. And you can see how this problem seems easy, but to check, it seems fairly challenging. Enter. That sounds actually, I'm fairly happy. Now, that gives me about 24. So 84 and 60, that gives me about 24. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. So it's a little tedious, but do it carefully. So that'll work out fine. Okay, you know what I mean? This is what I mean. If you, I can subtract it for you. 84.366 minus 59.544. 5454. Okay, so I'm subtracting, guys. Let me double check for you. I'm subtracting this guy from this guy and hoping I'll get this guy. All right. So 84.3636 minus 59.54. Fingers crossed. Good enough. I'm getting very close to 84. It's not exact because, of course, I rounded up, but I'm happy. I didn't mess up. I know that for sure. Let's pause there a little bit, guys. It'll kick us out anytime. Any questions, guys? Any questions, guys? It's a messy problem. Let me get a little tissue, and we're going to jump out of this session anyway. And I'll be happy to take some questions.
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, it's messy, guys, and that's just life. I don't know what else to say. Am I going to give you the ugliest ones? Probably not something this ugly. Okay, probably not, but it's a good habit to know how to check it. It's a good idea to have a good calculator. I have seen in my class students, if you have a sibling, they have a cheap calculator, you want to grab that too. Have a couple of calculators handy. It's very easy, and I mess up when I'm talking, but when I'm doing things on my own, I mess up a lot less. So hopefully you won't be talking when you take the exam, but it's messy. So once again, lesson learned. Lesson learned. If you're using something on the computer, here's the lesson. Make sure you understand that this guy is negative. This is not same as minus. All right, it'll give you an error message. When it's negative, you're going to use this. And I did a little bit of shortcut. If I just didn't do the shortcut, I would have gotten another error message. But it's a trade-off. That's all. So if you know a couple of shortcuts are simply, oh, I'm just going to put the minus sign here, change the sign so that it doesn't affect me later. So again, these are different. This is different from this. Stay alert. All right, guys, it took us half an hour to do one problem, which is totally fine. I'm not complaining. It was worth it. It was fun. Okay, guys, so it has like 4 minutes. Let's jump out of this. We're going to do a couple of problems from P2, okay? Let's jump out of this session. I'll see you soon, really soon. And thank you and rejoin.